Good evening. How y'all doing? Happy New Year. Well, no, I guess we said Happy New Year last week. So I'm tripping a little bit. So anyway, but how's everybody doing tonight? I'm Richmond Webb. I'm back again with my co-host, Mr. Robert Wilson, and you can follow me on Twitter at Richmond Webb. You can follow Robert Wilson at Aggie Bull. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm still learning how to work that. I hadn't got full swing on that, but my Instagram handle is at the real Richmond Webb, and Robert's Instagram is at Politics and Sports. And of course, you can follow the show Starcade Media at Starcade Media, and we actually like, share, subscribe, and tell your friends about it. And we just like to kind of come together. We kind of rehash the previous week, what happened, this and that. Of course, the Aggie season's been over, but Dolphins had that last game, and so we'll go over that and talk about a few other things. But what's going on, Robert? How you doing this evening?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Just some shocking thing has happened since the last time we spoke. Whether it's the Georgia win or the Flores firing. New York tried to act like they was gonna keep their coach and GM around. That was funny.
First part of the week since Sunday, it's been, like you said, they call it Black Monday or whatever. I know 3 coaches, and then Denver let their coach go Sunday morning. So yeah, you're right. So
got to bring that up. Why is it got to be called Black Monday?
Well, I'm just
if it's bringing doom and gloom,
it's doom and gloom.
Man, why it gotta be that?
There's a message behind it, I guess. But I'm like, okay, so yeah. Well, it's Black Monday, but then we got Black Friday, so that's when they want us to go out and shop and spend all the money and stuff. So it could be something behind that too. I don't know, but I don't know how you. I see.
You usually tell me I go left for 3 minutes at a time, so I'm trying to keep it down under 30 seconds.
Well, I mean, if you got something you want to say, brother, you got the phone now. That's it.
But yeah, just a lot of stuff happened, man. It was a good football weekend for the NFL, and I guess great for the college viewers as well.
No question. Well, I guess let's jump right into it. Miami finished 9-8. Played the Patriots on Sunday in Miami and ended up beating them 33-24. And we actually swept them this year. We beat them the first game up in New England, and then they came here. And so, I think I said something after the game. To go 1-7 and then to turn around and go, 8-1 the second half. I mean, that's pretty impressive. And, the 3 seasons Coach Flores has been here, 2 out of the 3, not the first, but you went 10-6 last year and then go 9-8. So you got 2 winning seasons. And then, for whatever reason, I was on my way to Dallas Monday morning. I get a phone call from you, and you're like, "Hey, they fired, Coach Flores." I'm like, "What?" And at first I didn't understand what you were saying. I was like, and you said, "No, Flores from the Dolphins." I'm like, "They fired him?" And that was the first thing that went through my head was like, okay, you got 2 winning seasons. I think everybody knew pretty much what we had to fix. Most of it was on offense. I think we had a good enough defense to be competitive with just about anybody. And you still can tweak things over there, but the majority of the things that I thought we needed to address was on the offensive side of the ball, offensive line, and the receiver position. Trying to keep those guys healthy. Not that we didn't have good receivers, it was just they missed a considerable amount of time, and then they handed out awards, and Jalen Waddle got MVP for the Dolphins. So I was definitely happy, to hear that, and he received the MVP award for the 2021 season. So, and he also broke the rookie reception record by Anquan Bolden. So for a guy to come out, step up, and not expecting him to be the first option like he was a lot of times. It kind of, with Fuller being out and Devontae Parker at times, basically him and Gesicki was probably the 1-2 punch, and he stepped up and he just had a hell of a season. So my hat is off to that young man, and so we had some positive things to build on. It was just we dug too deep of a hole the first half of the season. So.
Hey, when you talk to Dennis Branson, this kid is related to Percy's father.
Yeah, it's Percy's cousin.
Right.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't. Not till Mud Dog told me.
Yeah. Me and Percy talk all the time. I'm sorry, I thought you knew, but yeah, that's Percy's cousin, and he's from Houston. He went to what's the private school? I'll find out what private school, but he went to private. He's from right here in H-Town. So yeah, that's Percy's cousin.
Right.
I think James had a question up there about Judge and Coach Flores, if he can put it back up. The fact that Flores got canned before Judge was absolutely wild. Yeah, and I believe Judge is the coach at the Giants.
Yeah.
And it just shows you, you've heard so much, at least I have, and a lot of people on Twitter, social media, this and that, and they ask questions, but I just told most people I'm surprised. I didn't have any inside scoop, and a lot of times I don't like trying to say, well, this is what I think happened. I'd rather, if I know what happened, I can say it, but rather than just saying, well, this probably what happened, this and that, because you have all the other analysts going to speculate and say this and that. But one of the things that I heard was that Mr. Ross and Flores, they wasn't on the same page, or they kind of lost communication, this and that. And, when you're the owner of the team, you're going to call a shot. So, I mean, don't necessarily agree with it, but, it is what it is, and we got to move on from now. But I think with Coach,
and then you got to put in perspective, man, because coach in Minnesota gets 8 years, to get it wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All these Bill Belichick underlings in head coaching jobs just because they coach under Bill Belichick, and not one of them is still a head coach right now.
Yeah.
Well, except for the guy in
Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. So, but it's ridiculous, man. I mean, it's the underbelly.
Yeah, and you can look at it and you can compare, but when it's an owner in another city or another team making a decision versus your owner, they don't necessarily look at things the same way. So, but for me, it would be hard if a guy's had 3 seasons and come in and do a total complete rebuild, and out of the 3 years, the last 2, you got 2 winning seasons, and especially the way we finished strong, even though we didn't make the playoffs. I would have to take that into consideration, but this is not the first time that a head coach and an owner have bumped heads, and they make a decision that you'd be like, man, what was you thinking? The one I kind of think about at times is go back when we were playing, when Jimmy Johnson was with the Cowboys, and for whatever reason, him and Jerry Jones got into it, and they severed ties. And what they had built, I think if Jimmy Johnson would stay there a few more years, they possibly could have squeezed another one, at least another one out there. Because I know Switzer won one, that was 3, but it could have easily been 4, possibly got 4 in the 90s in that decade, because they was loaded back then, and they can thank Herschel Walker for that. All those draft picks they got from Minnesota. And I think the thing that really helped out was that they got the draft picks, but a lot of them actually outperformed the draft picks that they were. You know what I'm saying? They actually turned out to be much better players. So when you get it like that, and you got a young team, fresh, and just So now I guess it's a waiting game. You'll still hear the speculation. you'll hear about different coaches this and that. But I'm gonna just kind of sit on the sideline and say, okay, let them figure it out, and then see who we're gonna get it now.
Okay. Well, I'm not sitting on the sideline
You-
because the owner from the Miami Dolphins is obviously a Michigan guy, so that throws Jim Harbaugh's name out in the hat. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that, and then Eric Bieniemy situation. Our brother in Tampa, the coordinator, the offensive coordinator in Tampa.
Oh, the quarterback. I think his name in a minute. I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
Byron Leftwich.
Leftwich. They all got to get offers, man, to head coach. You know.
And another name that came up was Doug Peterson. He played with Doug Peterson in Miami. Matter of fact, he finished.
He did it though. He did it for the Eagles, right?
What?
Wasn't he a head coach?
Yeah, he was, but he ain't now. But I'm saying I heard that name, and then I saw something come out where the owner said that he wasn't pursuing Harbaugh because he don't want to take him away from Michigan. I know he loves Michigan, this and that. So I don't know. They say one thing and do another one. So that's why I say I'm gonna just sit back and just see what happens. But like you said, it was just. I just tell people I was surprised, and at times I still can't believe it. But I think Coach Flores is already getting interest. I've even heard Chicago tossed around. So especially some of these teams that's not in the playoffs, that's already made a decision. You got Denver, you got Chicago, you got Jacksonville. I know those three teams need a head coach. So
how about this?
come on with it.
You got the quarterback in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Justin Fields. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's get Flores as the head coach.
Okay.
Defense, that's his side of the ball.
Yep.
Byron Leftwich, assistant head coach, offensive coordinator.
Why would he make a lateral move?
Who's that?
He's already an offensive coordinator in
Is
Tampa
this head coach?
I don't know if he's assistant head coach, but that's almost a title just to kind of hire you away. But do you think he wants to?
No, I'm saying as far as that would be great for the QB out there.
No question.
That would be awesome if that could happen. Because he know what to do with the defense, and the offense is just looking for some leadership and guidance.
It's all how you put it together, man. And that's the thing that I think in the back of a lot of Dolphin fans, excuse me, but one of the things I kind of looked at, I just listen to people, because I'll interact and I'll let you get your point out, this and that. But a lot of people were saying, Tua's not the guy, this and that, blah blah blah. And I think in the back of people's mind, they're not really saying it, but they're thinking we need to have the next Dan Marino or a guy that caliber to win the Super Bowl, and you don't. You can play great defense and have a quarterback. He doesn't have to be the best quarterback in the league, but as long as he can, move the chains and not make mistakes in crucial times, you can win with that guy. But
And that becomes a lot easier with the Duke back there.
No question. Duke made a huge, and I don't know, but hopefully he go ahead and give that young man a contract. But that's when a guy's hungry. You get signed to the practice squad, you get brought up, and then the way he ran the football, ran with a sense of urgency, and ran downhill, ran hard. That we needed that. If we'd had that all season, that'd have made a huge difference.
Yes, sir.
So let me go over some of the stats. Like I said, we beat the Patriots 33-24. Total yards, we had 298. Pats had 379. Total passing, we had 103. Pats had Patriots had 245 rushing. We had 195 yards rushing. Patriots had 134. The thing, penalties, we were 5 of 33. They were 8 of 78. Turnovers, we didn't have any. Patriots had 3. And time of possession, we had the ball 33 minutes and 36 seconds. They had it 26-24. And, the way they went after Mac Jones a little bit more this game. And, X got the interception for the pick six and this and that. And I thought we had more the first game, but we didn't. But anytime you playing against a rookie quarterback, you want to put him in pressure situations to try to get him. You want to try to get him to get in there to force him to make him think or react quicker than what he is based on, the speed of the game and this and that. And I think that's what happened. They send different blitz packages, this and that. And I just saw that Tua has never lost to the Patriots. So that's a stat that I didn't know. So that is
get that on T-shirt. Get that on T-shirt in a hurry.
For Colin Cowherd, man, he's something else. But I don't know what Tua did to him or whatever. But I'm not saying y'all like the guy, but he seemed like he's a little rough. That's just my opinion. So, I mean, everybody got their own opinion, this and that. I respect it, but I think some of it is just a little harsh. But that's just me. As far as the game, Tua had 15 of 22, 109 yards, 1 TD. My man Duke Johnson, 25 carries for 117 yards.
Ooh, that's work. That's work.
Yeah. And I said earlier, Jalen Waddle broke the record and for the most receptions by a rookie. And also he was named team MVP. And then the defense again, X with the pick six. And the way we sealed it at the end, it was almost like the Miami Miracle, except that was like a lateral play. But for them to try to throw the ball, they tipped it, caught it, and dove in the end zone for another touchdown. I mean, that was perfect. And even I had a couple of people on Twitter that was actually trolling me, but y'all not going to the playoffs. And I was like, man, why is this so angry? And then you go to the Twitter page and kind of look, and I said, oh, he's a Patriots fan. I was like, I'm not saying, I'm like, y'all in the playoffs. Why are you so upset? Y'all ain't done it. I was like, man, just start. I just they go in one ear and out the other one. So that was it was good. But like I say, it was good Sunday, and then wake up Monday and get hit with that. That just kind of shook everything up. And then other thing I was going to talk about was Alabama, Georgia, national championship game. I think Georgia played 5-3, and that game to me did not disappoint. I mean, I think it was clearly a separation between Alabama and Georgia and the next two teams, Michigan and Cincinnati. I mean, they was playing at another level, and I think that college football playoffs, they got it right. I mean, they was going back and forth, and when you keep forcing those kind of high-power offenses to settle for field goals, and then eventually in the fourth quarter, kind of got broke open. But I thought it was a great game. What you think?
So Alabama, put it in perspective, Alabama went from 204 yards rushing by one guy to under 30 yards rushing for the game, something like that. So that's it right there. And, I seen a YouTube somewhere. Saban said to the coach on the field, Kirby Smart, he was like, "Y'all kicked our ass in the fourth quarter."
I heard him say that. Yeah. And you know what was? I think he was happy for Kirby Smart. I think they're good friends. I think he could respect that he put together a game plan, and it wasn't no hate. It was just, hey, y'all outplayed us today. Congratulations. And Georgia's came up short. 3 or 4 times. The last national championship, they lost that one in overtime. A couple of the SEC championships, they lost 2 or 3. So for him to finally break through and beat, Coach Saban, and I know he has a tremendous amount of respect. He's learned so much from Coach Saban. If you really look at it, their teams are built very similar. You might have, I think, the biggest difference. Quarterback's probably better at Bama and the guy at Georgia's not bad, but that's probably the biggest deal. At the skill position, the running backs, you name it, they got athletes all over the field. And
So, if I'm not mistaken, Georgia's game plan was on defense anyway, was not running the ball. So whatever we got to do on the back end, we're gonna take that chance.
yeah,
And I think Georgia's secondary stepped up, man, in a big way.
and they what I saw too was they contained Young in the pocket. Every time he tried to run and get outside the pocket, they kind of kept him to force him, but they put a lot more pressure on him to where he couldn't maneuver and make those plays. A lot of times he get outside the pocket, that's when he's real dangerous. Where he'll run for a first down, or you think got him, and then he'll throw it down the field. So they really studied him from that SEC championship game, corrected the mistakes, and put together a great game plan. And but like I said, it was it. And like you said, Robinson, for him to have 30 yards, and I think in the second half, Georgia really committed to running the football. And I thought Alabama was going to do the same thing. They gave it a couple times to Robinson, and they kind of got away from it. But also with Williams getting hurt, I know that hurt. They had a couple of young guys step up, but they missed a couple of balls that should have been caught, and that could make a difference. But a lot of times you got to put guys in those situations that hadn't been in those situations, and even though they perform now, next time they get there, it won't be like a shocker to them. So that's the thing. Right. It was next man up, this and that. So, but like I said, it was a great game. Congratulations to Georgia. They were due, and since Herschel Walker, said 40, 41 years, that's a long time. So, and we're trying to do the same.
Rodney,
huh?
I said our partner Rodney Hampton.
Oh yeah. I got text him.
Georgia recruit you? Did Georgia recruit you?
I got recruited by a lot of people, Bull, but I looked at mainly the Southwest Conference, and it was the Big 8 then. So I looked at schools because I didn't want to go too far away from home, but I got stuff from the West Coast, SC, LSU, those schools. But I know I didn't want to go that far away from home. It just wasn't for me.
I was asking about Georgia because Vince Dooley was the coach or something back then. And he's like, "Hey Robert, come on here, man. We want to get you in some of these silver britches."
That was it. That was it back in the day. So yeah.
Man, I tell people that all the time. Hey, we want to get you in a pair of these silver britches.
But yeah, they've had some great players, and I got a good friend. I think he was actually in school. He's probably 60, but he was in school when they won the national championship. So I remember when Alabama beat them in the SEC. He was a little down, and I didn't text him anything before this game because I just said I'll leave him alone. But when they won, I texted him and said, "Congratulations, man! Happy for you, this and that," to the Bulldogs. So it was good, and but it just shows. I know a lot of people don't like to hear this, the SEC, and you hear that, but even if you look at not national championships, if you look at the players that are drafted, by far, it's more players come out of the SEC schools than anywhere else in the country. Pretty much every year. I might be wrong a little bit, but for the most part, majority of the guys come from the SEC conference. But now with the transfer portal,
with
the transfer portal
now that the NFL has, but now that the NFL they have a site and a date for the HBCU combine. Maybe we'll move the needle in that way a little bit. You know what I
Good.
mean?
Yeah,
So they
making some noise down there, and like you said, you got Eddie Georgia, Tennessee State. You got Eddie Robinson at Alabama A&M, and then Bubba McDowell just got the head coaching job at Prairie View. So you're getting some former
I think
NFL.
the other linebacker from Joe Bowden about to get a job in the HBCU.
Okay.
Community.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is good. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got to keep the brothers in it, as we talk about, all this stuff, other stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I thought that was a good thing. They went ahead and they're gonna do the HBCU combine, and man, they're gonna find some diamonds. Well, you already know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
And a lot of guys are in the transfer portal and wanting to go play for like Dion and stuff like that. So,
but
it's gonna be interesting.
I don't know if that's gonna. So if he gets the players, those number one players and all that. So is he gonna just create a dominating team for that conference, or he's gonna inspire people to, hey man, y'all need to do what we did, or raise this kind of money. So I'm kind of trying to figure that out.
Yeah. It's good. It's good for the schools. I mean, I think the attendance of the football games and everything has went up, so there's more revenue for the schools, this and that. But it's a start. So he's got something going, and I don't think they'll be on the same playing field. But if you can just cut out a little niche and create a revenue stream, that'll be good for HBCU. So definitely happy about that. And then we got the playoffs coming up this weekend. Anybody you rooting for, or are you pulling?
I go for the team that people should fear.
Okay.
And one of them happens to be the 49ers.
Okay.
Because it's another team in the NFC, and they know who they are.
Yeah.
That team is Deebo Samuels.
Okay.
And Deebo Samuels, the receiver that runs with the power of a 220-pound running back.
Yeah.
So they're using him out of the backfield. And they're just a very physical team, man. You're not gonna push them around.
Yeah.
And they intend to push you around.
No question.
And then, and plus they got that extra bullet with the rookie quarterback, man.
Yeah.
Because at any time, I think this in the playoffs, what's name gonna be on a short leash.
Yeah, the 49ers have done an excellent job of putting together a team. They really built a defense, their D-line, this and that, which makes it scary. And like you said, you give Deebo Sanders, stuff like that. You get somebody like that. I mean, that's the type.
Then you got the mad scientist.
Huh?
Sorry. Then you got the mad scientist, Shanahan, drawing up this, drawing up plays, man. And he puts defense on his heels, man.
Yeah. So that's NFC. What about AFC? Anybody you?
The AFC, they on the top end, they should be afraid of Kansas City getting hot. Shout out James, Big James out.
James, yeah. He put a comment up there about the 49ers a minute ago. So like they said, he should be feared. Yeah.
So them in the AFC is like Man, I thought Indy was going to be in there, man. That was my team. That was my dark horse.
That was a huge surprise the way they just flamed out at the end. I think they was a team that people didn't want to see in the playoffs. And
That's what I'm.
their wish. Yeah, they kind of flamed out. But I agree with you. Kansas City, man, they get hot, and you go up there with that tomahawk and all that red. And if Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, I know he's got an injury. I think James said he had a heel injury last night. So hopefully, if he's ready to play, I mean, with Kelsey and the rest of those guys, it can get scary, man, because he'll just pick you apart. And then it was hilarious, the running back and this and that. It just Chiefs Nation, if it gets going, it can be an intimidating place to play.
And then the other team, the other team that the get hot team, but they can't because they're in Buffalo. Buffalo's the other team.
Yeah, and especially the way they exited out the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
I think they are definitely going to want to try to redeem themselves. They don't, they kind of cooled off during the middle of the season, and toward the end, they kind of, got back on track, this and that. But Buffalo definitely is once Josh Allen with that quarterback. He's such a big guy that he can make plays with his legs and throw it down the field. And of course, I'm gonna mention the Tennessee Titans are very scary, and plus they got another week to rest. So I'll be pulling for the Bengals. I played for them, so I'm glad to see they won the division, this and that, and I like to see them win a playoff game. I think that'll be good for Cincinnati, this and that, and they got some really good fans up there. They treated me first class when I was up there, so I'd like to see them do well. I think they got the Raiders this weekend. So other than that, should be some good football games, this and that. But before we get out of here, I'd like to tell you guys to check out my man James Howell's Chiefs Talk, and he'll put his information up there that scrolls by. And you can follow him on Twitter. It's at James Howell1, and you spell James JaymesHowell1. So follow my man at on Twitter, and the name of his show is James Howell Chief Talk. So other than that, that's it. You got anything else, Robert?
That's it, man. StarcadeMedia.com for all your podcast needs.
That's it. And hey, thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys later. Let's enjoy some playoff football this weekend. We'll see y'all later.
Sir.